Well, good afternoon. And yes, you heard that right. It's the afternoon. It's a bit of an odd one. It's a Sunday that feels like a Saturday because tomorrow's Bank Holiday Monday. Makes sense to me. Now, I last came here scouting it out glasses are no more flats, that's it, May 29th, 2019. And I've been waiting for the correct weather conditions and the correct tide to get back here and get some images, or get one image. We're at Crosby, but I haven't come to shoot the Iron Men. I can't remember what they're called. Anthony Gormley statues. So you can heave a sigh of relief, I'm not shooting those again. I'm coming a little bit further up the, I think, is it up the coast? I think it's up the coast. Yes. Because I saw this, as I say, fractionally under 2 years ago. I thought, oh, I like the look of that. Now I've got a little bit of a walk, not a long walk. The weather is warm, it's 14.5 degrees. The sky is almost perfect for some long exposure minimal work. And that's the aim of today. We are looking for minimal long exposures. So if you don't like minimal long exposures, might be an idea to turn off now. The glasses are gone again, that's it. There's actually 2 subjects in this area that I want to shoot. The second one is actually further back down at Crosby Beach, and I can shoot that once I finish this bit, because this bit is very tide dependent. I am not convinced I have a high enough tide. If I can find the original bit of audio and video that I did when I came here, I'll pop it up. I have a sneaking feeling we need a 10-metre tide, and we've only got a 9, I think it's allegedly a 9-metre one today. Whoa! Yes! The subject that I've come to shoot is just perfect. So maybe it was a 9-metre, not an 8-metre tide. There's a couple of issues, let me show you. There's a boat out here. I'd say a couple of issues, that's about it. There's actually, what do you call them? Wind farm out on the horizon as well. I think that's going to end up getting blurred out naturally anyway. We've got quite a big difference between the sea and the sky, so that's going to be either a 0.6 or a 0.9 grad to even it out. We're going to be on a 10 stop. Don't think the 6 stop will be enough. The sky is quite blocky, so the 10 stop will hopefully help to smooth that out. I'm thinking relatively high key, but I have been known to change my mind before. What I need to do is find somewhere to plunk the tripod down. It's an outfall pipe. I never knew I'd have such an interest in outfall pipes. I apologise if we're getting a bit of wind noise. If I face that way with you pointing towards me, I'm going to go into silhouette because that's the way the light's coming in. Pointing this way, we're getting a bit of a breeze, not really wind, but a little bit of a breeze coming towards us. This is the lesser of 2 evils. Now I'm having to move really quickly because the tide goes out so fast. We've passed slack water. The uprights have been visible since I got here. The horizontal lines, or the horizontal blocks, are just coming into view. And that's really what I was after. I love the fact that we've got 2 rows of uprights, got beautiful green seaweed on them. Oh, it's wonderful. But now the horizontals are coming into view, that's working even better. I've moved forward a couple of feet because, as I say, the tide is going out something wicked. And I've also had a bit of a to-do with the camera, well, not the camera, but the filters. Oh, where have you gone? I have the lead filter holder on the new one, and I'd only got 2 slots in it, so I could only use 2 filters plus the polarizer. Because of the brightness of the sky, I really needed 3. So I very quickly had to put 3 slots on. Let's see if I can show you this here. The little grey bar that you can see is the thing that holds the filter holder slots on. I've actually got it back to front. I'll have to change that. But you literally, they supply you with a little tool where you pop it up, slide it off, slide the new one on, pop the end slots on. Piece of cake. So I've got a reverse grad, a 0.6 and the 10 stop plus the polarizer. The polarizer is turned off to lighten the sea, and we're on about a 47-second exposure. I'm just trying to move. Oh, it's very slippy down here. Just a second, I need to have a look at this. Yeah, 49 seconds. There's some lovely light on the top of the uprights. Blinking ship's really irritating me, but it can get cloned out. I'm shooting at f11 to try and blur the horizon a little bit more. It's not actually working that well, but I am losing the little bit of detail that I've got in the sky. All day long, this was going to be mono, which is irritating a bit because I love the green, the algae on the rocks that are starting to come through and on the wooden uprights. But I'm just so happy that finally I've managed to get here after 2 years. Everything sort of coincided. And yes, I'm shooting in the middle of the day. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Back the blooming truck up. But because we've got virtually 100% cloud cover, the light is really soft and it's diffused. And I'm just going to play silly beggars because I can. Stick that on there. I'm going to up that to F16 and go for a longer exposure. As I say, these are going to be minimal. They're going to be mono, long exposures. I've been determined to add this to the portfolio for the West Coast project that I started over 2 years ago before flipping COVID got in the way. There's lots of marker posts, most of which are drunk, which is doing my OCD the world of no good. But I'm going to ignore those for this time. That's more minimal, although there's a beautiful red one there, which if I move up, you never know. Right, I'm going to concentrate on getting this one. The waves are coming in beautifully. Oh, it's a good day to be a photographer. What is it about seagulls? There's one perched precariously on top of that blinking marker post and it's really annoying me. I've popped the 70-200 on. I've taken the reverse grad off, so I'm just with the polarizer, the 10 stop and the 0.6 medium grad, I think it is. 63 seconds is just a little bit too much. Probably going to be around about 45 seconds on that one, I think. I just wish that seagull would disappear. Please! I've zoomed in quite close with the 70-200, but it's going to be a square crop. I want to leave it colour because it's the red that attracted me. It'll probably end up looking like I've colour popped it, because the effect of the polarizer and the grad is making everything around it, the water and the sky, virtually the same colour. And it's almost white. Let's just see where we're up to with that. That's better. That's better. Oh, 39.4 seconds. That wasn't a bad guess, was it, at 45 seconds? And I'm going to leave the horizon in because otherwise people are going to think the image is skew width because that is on a slant. So I'm going to have to leave the horizon in, but I've blurred it as much as I can using a combination of the zoom and the polarizer and the exposure time. Yeah, I think we can push that just a little bit more. I don't think we're anywhere near. No, we've probably got about 5 seconds to go on the histogram before we hit the right hand side, at which point things become blown. Some hulking great ships going in. And then I am going to pack up and head back down that way, see if I can get this last subject in. Oh, and I've no idea if I'm in shot or not because I'm not holding you today. You're perched precariously on a rock. Right, I'm going to pack up. Well, I'm going to wait for this to finish, then I'm going to pack up and head down there. I'll see you down there and we'll see what we can do. Well, the tide is on my high side today. Let me just put that in there. That's it. And I've made it down to what I'm going to call the triffid. Let me introduce you to the triffid. What a fabulous piece of architecture. And I have no concept of why it's so blooming big. There's another one exactly the same further down to the right of where I was shooting earlier on. And the reason I look at it and think, well, that's a triffid, that is. Let me just see if I can, that's it. The top bit reminds me of the triffid's tongues that they used to sting you with. Now, the really nice sky that I'd seen on the way down has pretty much gone. We've got some horrible banding and some bright blue bits. So it is going to end up as a long exposure. We've got some beautiful reflections coming up on the water. A couple of little issues. We have the wind farm in the background, and I've wandered down that way as far as I can, but then I'm losing the triffid type bit, and I'm losing the separation between his four legs. So that doesn't work as well, but it gives me a clearer background. Shooting here, I've not got the clear background, but I think I'm prepared to live with that. And I'd like it to be a really wide angle image, so I'm going to try with the 17-55 to start with, and then I think I might put on the Tachina, really wide. The reflection of the marker post, whatever marker post it is, in the wet sand, that's good. We've got a sort of decent sky, and I was hoping to get a low key, but it's turned into a high key again because I want the water smooth, and I'm shooting at 17mm on the 17-55. I was going to swap out and put the Tachina on, but slight drawback, because the tide's receding, I know I'm spinning you around a lot, we're starting to get the sand in show here, which I don't want. I just want the wet sand with the reflection of that amazing structure. Getting a little bit of light on it, so some of the greenery is coming out. I was on about a 41-second exposure, and it's just clipping the highlights in the sky. That's better. 30, oh, I can't see. 30 seconds. That's about right, and I think that works quite nicely. I'm not getting the water quite as smooth as I would like, but you can't have it all. And I've tried the polarizer on and off, but turning it on was making everything too dark, if that makes sense. Made the structure itself dark, which I don't want. I want that to be quite light, because there's some wonderful textures and tones, and there's a bit of green algae on it, so I quite like that. I thought of going over there to shoot, but then I'm going to get the mountains in the background, which I don't want. I want as clean a background to this as I can get. And I would like to do a square crop, but because I'm shooting out, if I shoot in close, I'm too close. If I shoot out wide, it's lending itself more to a panoramic style image. And I've lined it up, if you'll be able to see, slap bang in a gap between some of these wind turbines. So if I do decide that I need to clone the turbines out, oh, I need to check that exposure, don't I? Yeah, that's just clipping it at 64 seconds. But nothing that won't be rescuable in post. And the weird thing is, and I don't know if it's because I am shooting wide, it looks like it's leaning. Hey, it could be leaning. See you later.